Hey, it's Martin here from designforyou.com. In this video, we are going to run through and show you how you can build your own lead capture forms using a plugin called Thrive Content Builder. So let's head over to the desktop and we'll run through it for you. Okay, so we're now on my desktop, and as you can see, we've come into the back of my WordPress dashboard and we've created a page called Test Lead Capture Page, and obviously published the page. So now, as you can see here, we've got a button here that says Edit with Thrive Content Builder. We've got this button in there because we've added in the Thrive Content Builder plugin. So once that's in there and activated, you will get this on every post and every page within your site. So let's click on this and open up the Thrive Content Builder editor. It will load up obviously your template, so whatever theme you're using, it will actually load that in with it. And on the right hand side here, this is your editor, and as you can see, there are loads and loads of different elements that you can use in your pages. Okay, but what we're going to do initially, we're going to want to use just a landing page and create a landing page rather than a post on a blog or something to do with the website. So we want to do it completely separate. So we're going to use the Thrive Landing Pages tab at the top here. So if we click on there and it drops down, and we want to choose a landing page. And as you can see, this brings up the all the templates that the Thrive people have actually built. So you have a couple of options here for blank pages. So there's a normal blank page and a full width blank page. So if you wanted to load those and do completely from scratch, build a page, then you can do that. But for this video, we're going to use one of the templates, purely and simply for quickness as well, and also show you how good the templates are. So let's scroll down and choose a template. Let's have a look. That's the one we're going to do. We're going to look for this one, and then just scroll down and hit the choose landing page. And there we go. It's loaded the template into the page. So this is now your page within your website. As you can see, if I scroll over all these elements, you can see the boxes light up. And this basically means that all these different elements are totally editable, and you can change them and you can pull other elements in as and when you please. So for argument's sake, if we wanted an image element, for argument's sake, there's an image element here, we just pull it into the page, and where it gives you a plus is where you can place this image. So if we want to leave it there, and then we can add the option of adding the image. Okay. The editor is totally collapsible, so if you wanted to see it full screen, you can just close it down. And if you wanted to get rid of an element, you just hover over it, and there's a cross in the top right hand corner, which you can just click and we'll delete it. Okay, so let's go and have a look at building our landing page. We'll open the editor back out and we'll scroll that back up. So a couple of bits we want to get rid of. We obviously don't want this logo here, so I can just cross that and get rid of it. This then pulls the page up further and just, in my view, makes it better, because then everything is what we call above the fold, so it's accessible without the customer having to scroll down. So we've got that there. So the next thing is to change this image. We don't want this image, this has nothing to do with us. So if we can click on it, it will then open up and give us loads of different options. So with the image, you can obviously add paddings and margins there. You can centralize, you can put a border around it, you can change color, you can do different styles. You can even add an event manager, which means if you click the image, something will happen. Okay, that's all getting a bit complicated. We're not going into that today, but we want to just come up here where it says change image. So let's go and change the image and find the image we want. Okay, we've loaded our image into our WordPress media section. So all I've got to do is then select the one I need and then insert into the post. There we go. That's going straight in. So if we hover over it again, what we can do, because that's a little bit big, is just reduce it down. There we go. So we're reducing that down. We can centralize it as well. And all we now need to do is save the changes. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is change our heading, because obviously this heading here has nothing to do with the report that we're going to give away. So I've got some text in a document here for my header. Let's go and grab that. And the beauty of the Thrive content builder is you can copy and paste into with the text. So that makes it really simple if you're putting lots of text in. So we just literally copy and paste it. As you can see, we'll get the box you can see there. We've now got our headline. Now we want to reduce this down slightly because it's slightly too big for what we want. So I'll highlight it. As you can see, we are header 2 at the moment. Let's just see if header 3 makes any difference. No, because the font size needs to be reduced. So let's reduce the font size down. And there we go. So we've reduced that down. What I'm also going to do is centralize that just to make it look a little bit better. And we'll save the changes. Okay, so we've got a bit of text under here as well, which I'm going to replace. So again, I'll go back to my notepad and grab the bit of text there that I want and copy it. Come over to the element, just click on it. We can highlight the text that's already there, backspace it to get rid of it, and then paste it in. Okay, and we've just got a little bit of a gap there, so we need to just move that out. There you go. So that's all the text that we've got in there. We're saving our changes. So the next thing we need to come down to is add in our lead generation box. So we want to capture our leads here. As you can see, there's a button on the bottom here at the moment. So with Thrive themes, they give you a couple of options. You can have what they call double opt-in pages as well. You can click on this button and then it'll open up into a pop-up box where you'll be able to, the customer will then be able to put in their name and their email. But on this particular demonstration, I'm going to make it so they sign up actually on the page. So what we can do for now is get rid of that button because we don't need it. I can also get rid of this bit of text above that as well. And we've also got this sign up to download this free ebook text. So let's just quickly, before we put in the form, let's just change that. We just need to change that to report because it's not a book we're giving away, it's a free report. So let's save the changes there. And we now need to go down to our content elements and find the lead generation content element. So let's scroll right down, it's near the bottom. There we go, there it is there. So we literally just click on it and drag it over and then drop it in. That's how simple it is. Really is brilliant, this system. So as you can see here, these this element, the actual capture area is quite wide. So we want to be able to narrow that down. And I'm also going to change the color and the text on the button as well. So let's hover over it and click, which will open up the elements so we can then go and do some editing. So we want the field margins and paddings. So the top margin is 28, so we're going to reduce that down maybe to 20, and we'll do the bottom to 20 as well. And as you can see, that has reduced down, and we're now at a much better size that I want. Okay, so we're now going to do the button. So let's click on it again, and we now need to go to edit components, and we want the submit button. Okay, so that opens up a different element just for the button, and as you can see here, we've got the button text. So we're going to put in here, please send me my report. And we need that as a capital. Okay, so that can be the button text. And we also want to change the button color. So if we come up here on the left hand side and there's a palette, little palette icon, click on that and it opens up the color palette. Now with the buttons, some of them are simple buttons. This particular one has got loads of shadow on it and things like that. So we can edit all of those by just clicking on the part we want to change. It will bring you up your color chart here. We're going to go with the bright green, and then I'm just going to, yeah, we're going to OK that color, and then we've got a shadow. Oh, hang on, I've clicked the wrong button. So that's the one we want. Sorry, easily done. Loads of different buttons in there. That's that one. Okay, and that's going to be text shadow. So the text shadow, we're going to actually want black. That's that one done. We want the button shadow. That's also going to be black. And then the second button color, because this is what they call a two-tone color, so you don't have to have it. So I'm going to go with the same green, and then what we're going to do is literally just darken it up slightly. So we've then got it as a slightly different two-tone. And then the other ones we want is the hover. So when you hover over the button, it is a slightly different color, so people know that it's clickable. So let's go in, do the hover color. So let's do the green again, and then we want to go slightly lighter and yellower. So there we go, and we want to do exactly the same on the other one and make it slightly two-tone. So there we go, there is your button with everything done. You can also do the different color text, and we want to keep ours white, so that's fine. But everything is editable in there, which is absolutely great. So let's save the changes. And there we go. There's our button. As you can see, when I scroll over it, it's a lighter color, so people can tell that that's clickable. What we're also going to do is we are going to change the color of this top green background area. So let's hover over it. And as you can see, it comes down, opens down here. We've got, we can change to a background image and a pattern, and we can clear everything. We can do a border, we can do the margins and paddings, everything in there, and we can also do the color. So we've got the background color here, which is the green at the moment. We want to make it into that very bright lime green, should I say? But it's a little bit too bright for me, so what we're going to do is just literally tone it down a bit by bringing it down that way. Okay, that looks okay, so we'll click OK for the color, and then we'll click Save Changes. So the last thing we need to do on the actual design here, before there's a couple of bits we're going to add in, is we're going to actually, there's a bit of a gap here, so we're going to want to reduce that gap down so it pulls up the form and makes it all sort of level. So let's go in and see where we can do that. So let's click on an element, look at the margins and paddings. This has got a margin of 20 at the top, so we might be able to pull that one up a bit. There we go, that pulls up slightly. So we can then save changes there. And we've got an element there, so again there's a padding there. The padding there is 0, so sometimes you might find that you look as if there's a gap there, and there isn't because there's no padding. There's not a lot you can do about that. We should be able to get a padding here. No, there's none there either. Look on this element here. Yep, we've got some more. There's a margin there which we can pull up. That's pulled it up. And as you can see, we're gradually getting this to where we want it. But that's not too bad. That's pulled it up near enough. In fact, what we can do is come probably slightly bigger on the image and pull the image down to match. So then that is about that. So there we go. We've sort of got everything sort of centralized, and it all fits within the frame, which is what we want. Okay, so there's a couple of bits we're going to finish off with. What I would recommend on any capture page, especially for Google and that, they'll like to see things like the disclaimer and privacy policy, that sort of thing. Maybe a terms of service if that suits. So what we need to do is pull in a custom menu. Okay, so if we scroll up on the elements and we click on widgets, and then under there is a custom menu, so we'll pull that across and we can put what I'm going to do, put the custom menu down the bottom here. So we'll need to just literally scroll up a bit. As you can see, that's added in a default menu. So let's go and have a look. We can change that to whatever menus we've got. So we want our lead capture menu, which is just our privacy policy and a disclaimer. So we can centralize that. These obviously are all clickable to the relevant pages. So you would have to set up your pages, which are fairly easy to do. So you now have your privacy policy and your disclaimer at the bottom, so we can save the changes there. A couple of other things you could put in here below the fold. You could put sort of like testimonials if your product had testimonials, so that would obviously give it a great boost for the conversions. And something else we can add in is social sharing buttons, because although it probably won't go viral, but if you are able to add in social sharing buttons so that people could share it, then obviously it then is going to get more traffic to it. So we can do that in Thrive very easily. So we can go down to our social sharing buttons, and we can go to custom design, so we can pull it in, and that will sit just under the page there. We can then centralize this. And there's a few other bits and pieces we can do with that. We could make it a different style. They give you different options on the style. So it's a great tool, this is, and makes it so easy. So that one's quite good. So we're going to leave that just to show you how easy it is to pull the elements in. What we're also going to do is just tighten up and probably reduce the margins, because there's a bottom margin of 20, so we'll pull that up, which is fine. And what we'll also do for the privacy policy, we'll close the margins up a little bit on the top one, pull it up slightly, there we go, and we'll save the changes. So the last thing we need to do is actually add in our autoresponder form. Okay, so at the moment we've got the Thrive form in here, but it's got no coding in there. So you now need to go to your autoresponder, whichever one you use. I use Aweber. So I've created a form in Aweber and I've grabbed the code, and we now need to add it into the box so that it all links up to everything. So if we click on the box, and it will open it up and it will say connect with service. So we click that. We can create a new connection. We don't want the API, we want an HTML code form. So we'll get that from the drop down box and we'll click go to next step. And this is where we insert our code. So again, I've already grabbed my code. So we go over to my notepad, scroll all the way down, and we'll collect the whole code. You want the raw HTML code in here if you are using any autoresponder that's got two different codes. You don't want the JavaScript, you want the HTML code. We'll paste it in there and we'll click the button that says generate fields. This then gives you options below. We can put field label in there, so we're going to put name, and we're going to put email, and we're going to click required in both the fields because that's what we want. You also get an option of adding an icon in there as well, but we're not going to do that. And just click save. And as you can see from here, we're also going to, let's quickly save the changes so we don't lose it. And as you can see from here, we've now got name and email in these boxes, so we know that that form is in there. And that's it. We are now complete. All we now need to do is preview it, which we can come up here and hit the preview button. It will open up in a new window, And there we go. There is your lead capture page built with Thrive Content Builder very, very easily and very quickly. And everything is still editable. So if you wanted to go back and tweak something, tweak the headline or whatever, you can go and do that very easily and very quickly. The form is now live, so we can go over here and put our name in if we needed to, as you can see, and then just click and get the report. So we are up and running. Just scrolling down quickly, just so below the fold, we've got our social share buttons here, which are all live, and we've got our disclaimer and our privacy policy. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, either about this or about lead capture pages, about WordPress, anything like that, about Thrive themes, then obviously either leave a comment below the video here or drop us a line on our Facebook page or grab me on Twitter or whatever. But certainly, if you like this sort of thing and you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and obviously subscribe to our actual website as well, where you'll get all the up-to-date information too. Okay, we'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.